First in Tokyo in February 2003 as an event for young designers to network and show their work in public. It has become a global celebration featuring a special presentation for my 20 images each for 20 seconds. Moving on while you speak and
Good. Hi everybody. Can you guys all start your cameras?
Hey!
Hey!
Hello.
We
Good
did
evening,
it!
everyone.
Nice. We got through the intro.
Yeah, David is very well known in Penang. He's a award-winning photojournalist, a publisher, a dronescape artist. Most of us will have seen his photos everywhere. So without saying too much, I hand over the stage to David. Welcome again to PechaKucha.
Thank you and great to be here. Tonight, we just want to share our journey for us to rediscover Penang. Although I'm a Penangite, I left at 19 and only returned 30 years later in the late 2017. So the images that you're seeing is all taken just after that. Brian, can you please start the slide?
Are you ready?
Yep, go ahead. So this was one of the first images we took after we came back. I got a drone for a client, and this was one among the first shot. And when we put it on social media, people didn't recognize it was Georgetown. Everyone was telling us, hey, was this Venice? You know, we had to say, no, look at Comta, you know, and look at the deep water. So when you shoot with the drone, people do not recognize the place. So this is one of our most popular images. One of our clients printed this at 10 meters. It was just amazing. So, you know, for a drone to be able to do such amazing quality is just out of this world. And we were very lucky because when we came back at 2017, it was only then technology had this. I love this image. It looks very nostalgic, like an East India Company map. It was Georgetown looking straight down. So many of the images we shoot is not one frame, it is many frames that then you stitch it together to give it such quality. This is Little India in Georgetown. It's one of the very first roads built by the British. And these are the only roads that are in grid. The rest of the island is all chaotic. The road doesn't go straight at all in Penang. So it was fun trying to locate all this. When we started shooting and we were using many images to create our photograph, we decided to keep when we stitch, it comes out with all sorts of weird shape depending on the software you use and you know how you stitch it. And we decided to keep it that way. And this is now our trademark and our style. So when people recognize it, this was taken at night. And you'll be surprised the drone can shoot at 3 seconds exposure. And in a panoramic, it will shoot 34 frames to go around 360 at 3 seconds each exposure. It's just out of this world. You can't even do it normal with your tripod. This was one of our iconic image. Iconic meaning before we shot this, nobody did that. So when we came back, I was trying to find how do I cover something that's been covered like, you know, by everyone so many times. So we found this first angle straight down and, you know, until today, everyone is trying to shoot this, including this one. This is Thaipusam Festival. This is the chariot being dragged by the bull. Again, nobody had this shot until we shot it just 3 years ago. Since then, everybody is trying to do that, but because of COVID, nobody has gotten this shot yet. Until this was St. Anne. Every year there's one of the largest Catholic pilgrims who goes there, over 110,000 over 10 days. If you go to the church now, this is a minor basilica, you will see 2 of the images that the bishop bought and it's there. So as a photographer, this is Guillemot Dam. So as a photographer, we have amazing access as a photojournalist. So my job is always to try and get something that most people have not seen before, either from the angle or you know from the access of it. So many people in Malaysia, Penang hasn't seen this. This is the Itam Dam, one of the main dam in Itam. Again, many people would not have recognized. If you look closely, I see that you know you can see Paul McCartney's face there wearing a cap. Tell me whether to. So a drone is just a great gear. I shoot everything from underwater to land and all that. But a drone allows you to place the camera anywhere you want. This is our first Penang bridge, but it looks like Eiffel Tower. When we took a group of droners there, nobody had the same shot. So it's funny how you can bring many photographers to the same place, but they don't see the same thing. And that's the hardest thing to teach. This is the second Penang bridge. And when we did this series, after a while, we wanted to have a book so that we showcase Penang that people have not seen before. So we covered a lot of Penang do not know the mainland. Many of them do not even go over because they do not consider the mainland as part of Penang. But we determined to showcase everything. So this is one of the interchange in mainland in Batu Kawan. So we did our best to cover everything. We self-published the Penang book over Penang, but we spent a whole year because I wanted to cover all the festival in that. This is Keren River, south of Penang State, and these are all the prawn farms. If you love seafood, this is one of the best places to go for seafood in Penang. Again, the drone just takes you to all these amazing places that most people do not know. This is Tasik Glugor. I would say probably 90% of Penangites haven't been there or know that it exists. We were lucky we went there. It was storming. The sun came out 20 minutes and gave us lovely lights for this. We still have paddy fields in Penang, and this is mainland, and we do have paddy fields in the island too. So we do 2 harvests. So around March, you get all this paddy fields flooded, and it's wonderful. You get lots of blood, lots of nature. This is the famous 99 mansion. Sad to say it got burned down a couple of months ago, and we covered that too. So we are trying to document the whole island. We did the book, and we're very proud of it. And during the COVID last year, we came out with a second book because we say, you can't just do nothing. So this was the festival at Straits Key. Again, the drone does amazing job. Although it's you cannot predict where fireworks goes to. So a lot of times it's all luck, but when you're prepared, you get luckier. Same thing with this. This is 35 frames stitched, and this image was created probably 2 weeks after the event when I had to slowly stitch all this in, and we get big files. Some of them are 5 gigabytes. So we did 2 books. Simply Penang and Over Penang now considered the 2 best pictorial about Penang, and we're very proud of it. So now we are using the same formula to do other cities in and outside of Malaysia. Thank you.
Well done, David. How are you feeling now? You okay?
I always speak too fast. Yeah.
I think you did well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Amazing. Wow.
Yes.
It's like I'm almost speechless. That was so impressive. That was
What was amazing is now we have done Sarawak, we have done Langkawi, we have done many of Perak, and we're trying to do over Malaysia, working with Tourism Malaysia to cover. So what we found is a lot of people do not know how beautiful the country is. And many times when we shoot and we come down and we show the locals the image immediately, and they'll be like, is this in China? Is this where? And we're like, no, this is right here, So it's just amazing that people, once you change the perspective, they are really, they haven't seen. So like for us, we didn't know Penang was so beautiful, although I always say I'm a Penangite, but this project of ours really opened our eyes.
Brilliant.
Thank
Absolutely
you,
brilliant. Can I chime in with a couple fast rapid fire questions? I'm just so curious, David. Please let me ask. You keep saying we. Who are we exactly?
I've been trained by my wife to say we for all the things so that she's not left out. Okay. I do not assume it.
Okay, I think I heard her in the background.
Not true. She helps me a lot. She carries all the gear. She carries all my backup gears, and she do shooting too. So she's a very accomplished photographer as well.
Fantastic.
They make a great team, Brian.
And speaking of gear and carrying gear, are these sort of prosumer grade equipment you're using, or is it high level professional stuff?
I'm using just the normal common DJI. In fact, I just bought one. The DJI is only 500 grams, but it has the same sensor of the Phantom 4 I'm using. So these are all common gear that anyone can pick up from a store. What we found out is it's not the gear that you use, it's how you use the gear. So like, the image that you see, I can get 4 GB is because I'm not using one frame. I'm using, up to 50, 100 frames and stitched together. So, it's how you use your gear that you can produce. And because we print our images, we have a gallery in Georgetown, and many of these prints are 1 meter, if not larger. And then we also do it as wall art. So because we print, we have to constantly improve how we shoot and improve the technology and improve, the using AI to get the quality that we want. Because many people, when they don't print, they don't realize, hey, this file is, it's not good enough. But because you do, then, like this one, it's the middle, it's at night, but I can shoot 3 seconds. It's just amazing, using normal consumer gear.
Amazing. Absolutely.
Right, we have a question from the floor.
Go for it.
I think everyone was buzzing with David's drone shot. David, everyone is very curious. You can choose not to answer this. Do you need any permit to fly drones?
You don't need permit under the Malaysian law. All their laws is for drones that are 20 kg and above. We haven't come out. They're in the process of coming out, like Singapore. So like something like this, you can't do in Singapore, because Singapore, any commercial work, you need to apply 2 weeks before. You have to pay $85 and you have to get your license and all that. Malaysia, there's no such law yet. Of course, during MCO and all that, they can come out and say no photography over outdoor, or you cannot fly a drone. But before that, there's none. You only have the drone itself has their geofencing, meaning you can't fly near the airports and so on. But in Malaysian law, because the gear, the drone is so small, 500 grams to even the one that I've been using is 1.3 kilogram. It's not covered under the current law.
Right. Okay, thanks.
David,
I have one last question.
Oh, go ahead. B.
Okay, David. So I can see you are a very versatile photographer. You are very adaptive to situations and crises. So how has the lockdowns affected you?
We actually have been
in any way?
We actually have been busier than the 3 years we've been back, because we have a couple of projects, including one with you. What we have done is we are using our images to help other companies who are suffering. So in that case, we are doing very well. We found a very nice niche where people who are living because of the COVID, going back to Australia and all that, then they will come to us and order prints, because everyone loves Penang and they want something else back, and we are providing images that nobody else have, and we are providing in a good quality. So we've been very busy. In fact, we are working on 3 books at the moment. So thank goodness for that. Yeah.
Okay, I think that gives a lot of hope and encouragement for all photo bugs out there. There's always ways to use your talents, I'm sure. Yeah. So thank you, David. That was awesome 20 shots. I think you did amazingly well for first time PechaKucha. Looks like you've done this many times. So,
and
Brian, shall
David,
we?
yeah, let's do. But I want to say, speaking of Singapore, we've got people from Singapore in the chat. We've got from the Philippines. We've got Taipei. We've got more Tokyo. So thank you to all our attendees who are coming in. David, I think there's probably going to be more questions for you and for our other presenters. Go ahead and drop your links in the chat for our attendees. And you guys follow up with David after this event, and be sure to follow him on his stuff. So moving along. Thanks again, David.
Cheers.